Hey everybody, welcome back. Sandy's Creative Connection, and this is another video on some tips for the Stamparatus. I have gone and just cut some acrylic, I call them rulers, but the purpose of it is to, first of all, get the cardstock off the corner a little bit, and second of all, to give me a way to get the cardstock back in place if it gets moved from the photopolymers sticking to the cardstock, which happens. So I have several of these acrylic plates. I've got several Stamparatuses, but what I'm finding is really cool is I can put 6, 7, 8 different stamps on these plates, and all I'm doing is changing out plates, and it makes the stamping really quick. So I was going to show you how I did that. So I'm using the stamp set called Waterfront, one of my favorites, on page 49 of our catalog. And I'm going to start off with a retired color, so bear with me. I'm inking up the major part of the wave with Tempting Turquoise. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I did a Stamp-A-Stack using up some of my old cardstock, and that was one of my, I used up the retired. I'm going to put Old Olive on the leaves of the palm tree. And I know I don't have any trunks there yet, but you'll see it all come together. All right, so this one is dark shade of, again, another retired color, Island Indigo. And probably what I would do if we're not showing you the different plates and how you can change out the, and get 6 stamps on the Stamparatus, I would probably change out my cardstock and then change the plates later on. Because see, this is what makes it nice when you have that ruler. Of course, you can stick it up in the corner of the Stamparatus, but I find you really have to push hard. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather just bring it out, set it up on this ruler, and let's see if I got it close enough that with the rulers, I'm going to ink up this little sun again and see if it's pretty dead on, and it is. So that did real nice. All right. So I am changing to the third plate. This plate comes in from the side, and I'm going to use espresso on the trunks and the house. Very nice. And I'm going to flip it around, so I'm pulling it out of the hinges, and I'm flipping it around, and this is going to be the sand, which I'm going to use crumb cake. Yep, there you go. And I know you really couldn't see how I put that together, but there you go. There you have it, a completed picture. And, I could do 20, 30 of those really quick and simple. So I hope you try this trick with your Stamparatus. Anybody that purchases a Stamparatus from me, I will see that you get these little acrylic rulers if you like it. I also have another video coming up where I show you how to use a larger sheet of acrylic to locate stamps on your project, so be sure to check back. I want to show you now how I set up the stamps. I always put a stamp set under my acrylic plate just because it stabilizes it. All right, so I got my rulers in place. I've got a magnet up here just to kind of stabilize the I'm considering putting a grommet or somehow attaching these. I just haven't figured out how yet. So I'm just putting the magnet up there to stabilize it. All right, so the first thing I want to do when setting this up is I want to use the sand. So I'm going to grab the sand. Oh, let me get my magnet on my card base. And I'm just going to place it. I'm going to place it in the middle of the cardstock just because I know that this piece is a little bit long. So let me just in the middle. So I set it there, take my plate, I pick it up, and I go ahead and I stamp it because then that puts down an image so that I can figure out where I want the other stamps. Okay, so that's my sand. I take the plate, I flip it around. So the next thing I want to do is I want to probably put the water, the big wave down. So I just lay it up there. Take the, now you notice I changed this plate. So it's now the back side. Pick that up, and I'm going to use turquoise, which is a retired color, but you may have it if you're a Stampin' Up! Customer. So, okay, I've laid that water down. Now I think I'll go for the darker water here. So now I'm going for another plate, and this plate's going to come in from the top. And again, I need something to kind of get it off, keep it off. And I am going to use, Island Indigo. Now keep in mind that's a retired color. So Island Indigo. Here is my water. I'm going to flip it over and put it where I want that wave to show up. Bring my plate down. Ink it up. Gently press, because I know I can always go back and add more if I'm not happy, and I am happy. And then I'm able to flip this acrylic plate around. And I think the next thing I will put on there is, let's put you got to do it upside down too. On a photopolymer, you know, there's a right and a wrong side, so you want to put it where the image is down. I'm going to put the stem of the palm trees there, and I'm going to put the house over here. Of course, Sandra, practice what you preach. Stamp image down, and I'm going to take the plate, and this one's going to be early espresso. And I'm happy with that. So now I'm to the point I have to have a new plate, because I don't want to remove these stamps because I want to stamp multiples of this card. So this is the advantage of having a couple of extra plates, and you can order them. They are in the new catalog. So I'm going to put this plate up here, and I want the sun, our moon. Inking up with daffodil. When you do this too, you want to be sure your stamps are good and clean. I can tell I'm getting a little bit of a ink residue on there from my class. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now you notice I'm turning it around to the back side, and this is where I will put on the palm trees. And I'm taking the stamp image, should be clean, laying it just right on top of where I want it to be. Pull the plate down, lift it, And I'm going to grab some old olive. Rub all over the image, and there you go. Now I can go back and just, mass produce 10, 20, how many ever I need. All right, so I hope that helps you with one more tip for the Stamparatus. I will produce another video on how to precisionally place words on your card. So be sure to check back.